First, there was Barbie. Then there was Astronaut Barbie. And then Maui Barbie. Now there's Fupa Barbie.
Morbidly obese Barbie. Big and beautiful Barbie.
Adult onset diabetes Barbie.
Yes, that's right, folks. We're getting all the fat jokes out of the way in the beginning of this recording.
Yeah, as if. Not with these two.
Well, a more pressing joke about the whole Amy Schumer Barbie news is Amy Schumer made a career out of talking about her vagina. Now she's playing Barbie, who has the same issues as Ken does about being anatomically correct. So how does that work? I mean, what's Barbie got to talk about?
About being a strong and independent role model for young girls everywhere. Because it's not what on the outside that matters, it's what on the inside.
Well, which is a philosophy we can agree with about 99% of the time.
Partially. Because here's the thing. And I'm gonna just call it right now, the end of the movie is gonna be nothing but Amy Schumer, who, from what I understand, she's playing like an outcast Barbie, an outliner of some sort. She's not as pretty as the rest of them, which is why she gets excommunicated from the Barbie world. She gets transported into our world, where she has a journey of self-discovery. And she learns that, and she returns back to her own universe, and she makes this enormous speech to the rest of her sisters about how it's not the looks that matter, it's what's really on the inside. Here's my issue with that. When she's going to be talking about her intrinsic qualities, she's not going to be talking about her brains, is she? Her point is not going to be that as long as you have something of value to contribute to society, like maybe you're a talented musician, or you're a skilled surgeon, or you have a knack for computer science. No, instead...
The Barbie that cured AIDS.
Something like that. You know, so again, actual merit. Instead... Right. It's gonna be the same message that Tumblr has been trying to hammer into our heads for the past 5, 6, 7 years. That
it's
that big is beautiful and that you should be appreciated just for occupying space, just for existing.
Unless you're Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yes, exactly. Because here's the thing: everyone is special unless you're a guy.
Including predictions, my prediction is that this is going to follow the exact same trope that we've seen in just about every other movie lately. I mean, Angry Birds, the Emoji Movie. It's going to be, this person's different, but it's what makes this person different is what's really special about that person. And then you should really, be happy for being different just for the sake of difference, I guess.
Here's the difference, though. In the case of the Angry Birds movie, Red and the rest of them actually saved the day. They were able to recover the eggs from the piglets, and yes, I've seen the Angry Birds movie. It wasn't as bad as everyone was saying. There was actually a pretty decent message in the middle of it, which was basically nationalism is good.
Oh my god! Of course
don't trust them. Yeah, don't trust them grin piglets, because they're here to steal your babies.
Oh my god!
They'll have to build a wall to keep the piglets out.
Exactly. Oh boy.
Pigs lives matter. Am I talking about cops? Ooh.
Exactly, that's why the joke is so funny. Anyway,
different levels.
Jesus.
Racism aside, back to fat shaming. What was the point? Yeah, okay, so in the case of Angry Birds, Red and the rest of them actually did something. They accomplished something. In the case of Barbie, though, it seems to be just a case of Fifi's before everything else, feels before reals. I feel like I'm special, I feel like I should be appreciated, and now they're making an entire movie about it.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's not like the messages, like you said, that, okay, I'm a Barbie and I'm not as pretty as the rest of them, but, I'm the only brain surgeon in town, so, I'm actually needed. I'm really important. No, that's not what they're pushing, which I think is ironic because when you look at the original Barbie toys, that's what they actually tried to do, because they had Barbie, and yeah, she's pretty and everything, but then she was in all these different careers to try and show young girls who played with the dolls, look, Barbie can be a doctor, Barbie can be a vet, Barbie can be a scuba diver, Barbie can be an artist, she can be whatever she wants to be, because, whatever
Except
talent,
a housewife.
whatever interest, well, but whatever talent or interest you had, you could pursue that. But that doesn't seem to be what this movie, and I mean, yeah, we haven't heard a lot about it, but so far from what I've been hearing from all the sources that we've looked into, it's more about, be comfortable in whatever body you're in, and size doesn't matter. It's like, okay, why do you want that to be the message you push? Shouldn't it be, like Max said, that your brains are what is going to matter, not your looks?
Your talents, your merits, anything but, I look different, and I should be happy with, well, you should be happy with where you're at, kind of, though, but, I mean, that shouldn't be the focal point of a fucking movie.
Well, the reason it is the focal point is because, number one, Amy Schumer is attached, number two, Lena Dunham is attached, and number three, Amy Pascal of Fembusters fame, is attached. So there was no way that this movie could not end up being a flagrant political message, just like in the case of Fembusters.
Here's a question, though. If Lena Dunham's attached, is this movie going to be that abortion she wanted? Oh, God. Or is she just going to molest a project for 14 years?
Both of them.
Ooh.
Both of them.
Oh.
Turns out that John Podesta is like the executive producer of the movie. He's the sponsor.
No, God.
They just refer to him as Alan Smithy, to obfuscate his involvement.
Jesus
God.
Christ. Okay, anyway, well, something that I think is kind of ironic is the fact that a lot of people who are, like, against Barbies are always like, oh, well, Barbies, the body type is really unrealistic. So to combat that, they're going to cast someone who is out of shape so that that's the body type that little girls can strive towards instead of they're going from one extreme to the other. I mean, not that she's morbidly obese, but she isn't in shape either.
Basically, Barbie is unrealistic, so we're gonna get an actress who's unhealthy to play her. To combat the stereotype of beauty and healthiness, even. It is healthy to be in shape. I mean, yeah, sure, there are those women in real life who... I believe there actually exists a medical syndrome called the Barbie Syndrome, where people try to alter their bodies to look like Barbie and Ken dolls using plastic surgery. Which is, mind you, it's extreme. It is a mental illness.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, though.
But men have the exact same thing, except it's called the Superman complex. Mm-hmm. There's a condition with men where they work out to just such extremes because they gotta be Superman. They gotta have, a 6-pack or 8-pack, and they gotta have huge pecs and massive arms and steroid themselves up to the point where their fucking testicles are raisinets.
Oh, God.
Here's the thing, 2 points about that. Number one, society doesn't pay attention to it because this is a flagrant double standard. You've seen that image where on the left there's a picture of a Barbie doll, and there's an entire wall of text underneath that proclaims that Barbie is an unreachable beauty standard that perverts the ideas of young girls of what an attractive woman should look like, blah, blah, blah. It's very pernicious, it's very even pathological, blah, blah, blah. And to the next of it is a picture of He-Man, and just a caption that says, "This is He-Man. No problem here."
Yeah.
This is an unrealistic look at homosexuals. And I say, hey, yeah. I don't do that. But,
what's going on?
Katie will do it. There we go. But, speaking of beauty standards, wasn't it rumored that Margot Robbie was supposed to play Barbie in some early iteration before this whole, new direction cropped up?
Initially, yes.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing with this film. I mean, didn't it have, like, fucking, like, a million versions of the script, and then they kept falling through or getting scrapped or, like, getting redone? This movie has been trying... How many years has this movie been, like, trying to be made, and it keeps falling through?
Which, as we all know, is always a hallmark of a masterpiece.
Mm-hmm. Well, not only this movie, but this entire franchise, because they wanted to have a He-Man crossover, and they wanted to have a whole Hasbro cinematic universe for some unknown, God-known
Why?
Because Marvel does it.
reason. Yeah, because Marvel has all these movies that tie into each other, so they have to do that. That's why they tried doing it with Ghostbusters. That's why DC keeps trying to do it. I'm a dick. But,
No, you're accurate.
kind of going back to Lena Dunham for a second. I mean, this is where I see this plot of this movie going, right? Amy Schumer is going to be different. And she's not going to be as pretty. She's not going to be Margot Robbie, which, could have actually worked as Barbie. But anyways, Amy Schumer is going to be different. She's going to go real world, and she's going to, do all this shit and self-discovery. And that's fine. I have no problem with self-discovery. But then I imagine she's probably going to end up being the one who gets Ken.
Uh-huh.
This is my prediction, is that she's going to be the one who wins over the handsome stud muffin, right? And the reason why I think it's going to be like this, why there's going to be this level of delusion, is because obviously Lena Dunham is tied to this thing. And if she is indeed typing part of the script or pitching part of the script to this, it's just going to be a replay of what happened between her and the NFL star Odell Beckham Jr. where
Talk about entitlement.
Yes, where basically Lena Dunham didn't capture the eye or the attention of NFL star Odell Beckham Jr., and she went on this massive man-hating racist rant
The usual.
about this man not paying attention to her because he totally ghosted me. I guess I wasn't up to his standards of beauty,
You weren't.
and it's like, wait a minute, you're saying that you were entitled to get his attention just because?
Yeah.
Why?
Because feminism. This is
Because
the ultimate
because
goal.
this ultimate fantasy that you're beautiful on the inside, even though you apparently don't really care much about what you look on the outside, and you expect people who do look good on the outside to care about you.
Well, see, you're not entirely off the mark because I haven't watched the movie myself, but I've heard of the opening scene. That movie that Amy Schumer made a few years ago, Trainwreck? That's the one that apparently propelled her to stardom. The movie started...
Her autobiography.
Well,
Trainwreck.
see, the thing is, it's actually more of a self-insertion fantasy, because in the beginning of that movie,
no.
Amy Schumer somehow manages to get the attention of John Cena, the WWE superstar, who looks like a modern-day Greek god. And then the scene transitions to the two of them in the bedroom. John Cena goes down on Amy Schumer, which, pardon me, but... disgusting.
Yeah.
So this is a comedy then, huh?
I know that so far it sounds like a horror movie, but nevertheless.
It's like that movie Teeth. He comes back like Hitler.
So the point I'm trying to make is that John Cena...
Now we know not only where the jokes are about, but where they're coming from.
So my point is that after John Cena brings Amy Schumer to a climax by performing cunnilingus, he gets off the bed anticipating some reciprocation. It's like, okay, it's my turn. But here's the punchline, kids. Amy Schumer pretends like she's asleep. He doesn't get anything. He gets blue balls. And later in the movie, she actually elaborates that the reason why she did it is to take a stand against the patriarchy, to take revenge against all the macho douchebags that she had to blow previously but didn't reciprocate. So, like I said, you're actually not off the mark with your prediction that the movie is going to have a very heavy feminist slant.
Is it going to steal jokes too? Because that's the exact same joke from Saving Silverman.
Bam!
Here's real talk, ladies. If you don't reciprocate to your man, that just makes you a shitty partner. So I don't
agree.
really get what her joke was there. But regardless, let's move back to the Barbie movie.
Well, you heard it here from a real woman, ladies.
Well, I think everyone at this point knows my stance on blowjobs, so let's not.
Well, how do you think you got CCS? I'm joking.
God, you're bad.
Anyways.
So that's what the B in KDB stands for.
Oh, God. Anyway.
If she, what was is that like a grade or something like that? If she would have put more effort into it, if she would have put a mint in her mouth, and we would called her KDA.
Oh,
KDA
Plus.
don't even.
Well, as long as it's not KEA to M.
Fuck.
Think about
done.
it, Katie. Think about it.
I don't get it.
I'm not surprised.
It rhymes with bass to mouth.
Oh. Wait, I still don't get it.
You stupid cunt.
I'm sorry, I'm ignorant and dumb.
Hey, Max, when Katie goes to see you in a couple weeks, show her.
I don't know what it is, I'm scared.
Oh, you will be.
No.
You will be.
You're also gonna need more mints.
Stop giving away my mint trick.
Anywho, incest aside.
Katie,
Not incest,
Katie,
not
it's anal to blowjob.
Oh, that's icky.
There you go. Now she
See,
figured it out.
Okay. We're not
Enjoy.
gonna cut this, are we? We're keeping it, aren't we?
We are keeping
Of course.
Anyway, back to serious discussions. So
Speaking of ass to mouth, the Barbie movie.
Speaking of eating... Yeah, I was going to make a similar joke. Speaking of eating shit, Barbie.
But anyways, something that I wanted to bring up is I was thinking about how, like, at first this Barbie movie seemed to me like just one of those, constant remakes that we're always seeing these days where, oh yeah, it's gotta be a fucking remake of this, fucking remake of Ninja Turtles, remake of Ghostbusters, remake of, it's just remakes everywhere. But the reason that this one is a little different is because it's not just a remake to try and cash in on money, they're doing it to push an agenda. They've got this idea of, okay, we have to push this particular perspective and share our worldview with all these young girls, and so that's what they're going to try to do with this movie. But the thing is that something I was thinking about earlier, it's like, if you've got the Barbie label attached to it, then that's only going to appeal to certain people. If you have this kind of story or idea that you really want to share, this message that you think is so important that all little girls need to know that everybody's fucking special, then why are you attaching Barbie to it? Because the second anybody sees Barbie, they're automatically going to think, oh, they're really skinny dolls, like unrealistic, always dress them up and like they're all about being pretty. So people aren't going to go see that movie, They're only going to... I don't know what they're trying to go with
Well,
here.
the reason why they are attaching the Barbie label to all of this is, actually, from what I understand, the label is irrelevant because this is something that Amy Pascal, the executive producer and the I believe at one point she used to be the chairman of Sony Pictures, didn't she?
Really?
Yeah, but that kind of got kiboshed after several
No,
fuck-ups.
because of Fembusters. So, I remember reading a couple of years ago, back when the Spider-Man rights used to belong to Sony, she was talking about the idea of making a movie within the Spider-Man universe starring all-female characters and no Spider-Man.
Oh.
And the title of the movie was going to be The Glass Ceiling. So we would have actually gotten a movie about Aunt May working as a nurse and how she's getting only 77 cents to every dollar that man makes, which is a total fabrication, but nonetheless. So this has been Amy Pascal's mission in life, to make feminist movies, and so far she has failed spectacularly.
So she takes other people's ideas, and instead of being true to what the original idea was about, she warps it into her own thing instead of making something original. That's
Her own ideology.
That's not only, like, rude to the original creators of these titles, but it's weak that as a creator you're not able to come up with something of your own. If you've got this important message to spread, you can't do something original with it. But anyways, I mean...
Agreed, but nevertheless, this is something that the Regressive Left has been doing for almost a decade now,
Yeah.
because look at female Thor, look at Black Iron Man, or Iron Woman, whatever they call her, or Black Captain America. They don't create anything. They just
Take
cut the
over
white
stuff.
man down to size. Yes. They just take away the shield from Captain America, call him a racist, and give it to Sam Wilson, the Falcon. Social justice served. Additionally, speaking of social justice and all these movies that are meant to empower people, Matt, you brought up earlier the fact that Sony also has the rights to the Masters of the Universe franchise, and that they're also trying to get a He-Man movie off the ground, correct?
Yep, that's what I've heard, but,
Here's the thing, though. What are the chances that they're gonna hire a fat guy like Jonah Hill to play He-Man?
practically no.
Slim to none, pardon the pun.
He-Man starring Louis Anderson.
He-Man the Dadbod edition. But again, here's the thing. If they tried making a movie like that, this would be the public's reaction. Everyone would be jeering at it. But in the case of Fat Barbie starring Amy Schumer, all of a sudden we're supposed to stand up and solemnly applaud her because this is such an intrepid effort. Her trying to push against the patriarchy and to upend the public's perception of beauty and get the fuck out of here.
Well, it's the exact same thing as that picture you found where the same article or the same author of this, I guess, news rag is giving a fuck ton of shit about Leonardo DiCaprio letting himself go on vacation. And there's another picture of Amy Schumer on the beach, almost the exact same angle and location and probably even the same amount of, body fat, BMI as Leo, and he's giving her nothing but praise. Oh yeah, she's a beautiful woman. Look at her. She's hot.
His exact words are, "She's not a train wreck, she's a bombshell." Apparently Daredevil wrote this article. Get it? The guy's blind.
Well, I think, to wrap it up, if they really wanted to make, a Barbie film, and they've done this, obviously, before, there's, Barbie fucking Princess, or, Barbie Snow White, or Barbie Cinderella, disregarding those. If they wanted to make, an original Barbie movie, why not have it be focused on the actual Barbie world, but just kind of poke fun at it or do it in a slightly different way, don't have it just be all about, oh yeah, pretty stuff, because there's this series that a friend of mine watches that, don't make fun of me, but it's called Barbie Life in the Dream House, and I actually saw a couple episodes when I was over at her house, and it's not bad. It actually made me chuckle a few times because they had, some actual, kind of a adult humor here and there, and some relevant jokes where they're poke fun at the fact that the Barbies are supposed to be perfect, but they're actually not. Some of them are kind of quirky, some of them are a little different, and that I think would be a better take to this, because then that's sharing their message that, okay, yes, you can be whoever you want to be, and look at all these Barbies, they all look the same, but they're all different, and what maybe their careers or whatever they do with their lives is what makes them unique and valuable, instead of the fact that, oh yeah, no matter what body size you are, everybody's perfect. That's, you need to stop telling kids that, okay, it doesn't matter what you look like, it's your personality. No, how about you need to have a goal, you need to have, something that you're aiming for in life. That's what makes you valuable and everything like that.
The genuine characteristics that you have as far as your talents, your aspirations, your true merits, not just, yes. I sit on the couch all day long and I eat Fritos and I expect, John Cena to show up at my house and whisk me away.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's no, because, it's the same double standard as, the quote, neckbeard fat guy in the basement. This trench coat wearing fedora.
Expecting Margot Robbie to show up and give him a blowjob.
Exactly, yeah, and this is just as unrealistic. Granted, if there's something that, either of those people had that was genuine merit, they're great programmers, for instance, or they started Facebook or something like that. If they actually did something besides, oh yeah, I'm not pretty, but I still deserve all of this fucking bullshit.
Yeah, it's that mentality that everybody's special, everybody's perfect.
No, everybody gets a fucking participation ribbon.
Yes, exactly.
Tell it to Tumblr.
I'm Mel can share this video around. Here's my question, and I don't know if we're going to end on this or not, though, but if you had daughters, would you show something as vacuous as, no, you deserve to feel special, you deserve this, you deserve that, as a genuine pro-feminist message, or would you show them something like Ripley from Alien, or Sarah Connor from Terminator?
Well, first of all, you make the mistake of assuming that I would allow them to watch television.
They just need to be knitting in your sweatshop, right, Max?
Absolutely. In my basement, chained to the sink, just like Mel is. But here's the thing. Hypothetically speaking, I would let them figure it out. If they want to play with Barbie dolls, by all means. If they're more interested in trucks and tools and what have you, if they're more tomboyish, again, that's who they are. But I wouldn't try Oh, Christ, I just remembered about it. I saw a cover of the National Geographic magazine.
Oh, that.
And they were eulogizing, I think the kid is like 5, maybe 4 or 5 years old. He's really young. But apparently he's transgender. He's got like shoulder-length purple hair, because of course he does. And he's already demanding that you call him some made-up fatuous pronoun like Zier, Krakenwagen, Pfeifengesing, whatever it is.
But I mean,
So,
fucking
again-
5 years old, and he thinks he knows what his gender is.
Or rather, his mummy, his single mummy, I should clarify, knows what's best for him.
I mean, it's like a 5-year-old doesn't even fucking know what they want for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
I did when I was
fucking
5. I wanted dinosaurs.
Okay, you just blew my point.
And
out
20
of
years later, she wants the same thing, the Zoids.
But
Shut
my point is there's obviously much better true feminist icons out there than I'm different and therefore I'm entitled. I mean, fucking Ripley from Alien did shit. She got shit done. Sarah Connor rose to the occasion. True heroes arc.
And
You know who my
Yeah.
feminist role model was when I was a kid? Xena, because she kicked ass. She was like my mom. My mom did taekwondo. She was a black belt, and Xena kicked ass. And I was like, Xena's awesome. That's the role model I want to have.
And Xena was also sexy, and she also got her groove on, especially with Bruce Campbell episodes.
Yeah.
The only thing I've seen in Xena, mind you, Bruce Campbell is the man. But anyways,
But yeah, I mean, so you can have, I mean, Xena's a good example. She is fit, she is pretty, but she's also kick-ass, and she also doesn't fucking mess around with anybody, and she doesn't take shit from anybody, you know? And she does shit.
Mm-hmm.
She rescues people, you know? Like, she fights against, like, the god of war, I think. Like, it's been years since I've seen that, but, you know.
she rises to the occasion, not just I'm a victim, therefore I'm entitled to shit.
Exactly.
And you know what is the most entertaining thing about all of this?
What?
Xena, the character, was created by 2 guys, one of whom is Sam Raimi, and the other one is R.J. Stewart. So, when it comes... I've noticed this, by the way, is that some of the best female and minority characters were actually created by white people. Shock and awe. When they regret... Yeah. And she's also an original character. They didn't take someone like Hercules and turn him into a woman. And it's like, oh, it's She-Hercules or whatever. Hercules, there we go.
Hercules.
Hercules.
Yeah, even worse.
But I mean, again, that's just my theory. Is if I had a daughter and she wanted strong, genuine, empowered characters, why would I show him something like this Barbie that we're speculating on? Why?
And better yet, if you wanted to have this message of what's inside matters, not what's outside, why don't you show them a fucking good movie like Wreck-It Ralph or something like that? That message is in so many movies. Like, why do they need another one? Let's be honest here.
I mean, it just completely goes against everything that I at least personally believe in. So that's me.
Yeah, I guess we kind of have to see. I mean, at this point, we don't even know if the movie's going to be officially made because with its track record, it may just fall through again. But, maybe
Well,
in
we heard the same thing
future-
about Ghostbusters. Yeah, this movie can't possibly be made. Come on.
Oh, no. Yeah, I've jinxed it.